first thing I'd say is there's no such thing as a regular person. Everyone's got their own superpower, and that's probably the underlying foundational thought in my work. As the head of HR, my job is to come up with programs, put in programs that create the environment so everyone comes into work, everyone, no matter what their individual power is, and says, when I work there, I get to yank out my superpower. I have a background in engineering and HR, both in experience and education. I've kind of gone back and forth between the two functions, and the reason, probably the fundamental reason I love my work and I love what I do is because of this very unusual combination of engineering and HR, and it allows me to approach things in a way that I think I wouldn't be able to approach if I didn't have that unusual combination. When it comes to HR, there's a lot of HR data. To play with data as an engineer in the middle of an HR playground is what's unique to me about what I get to do. My father's a civil engineer. My father gave me a slide rule when I was 6 or 7 years old. And playing with that slide rule is when I first realized that you can use your mind to create things in the world, that you can think up creativity. And so that's what inspired me to become an engineer. Now, having taken an engineering, I kind of knew there was something missing in my education, but I couldn't tell you what it was. I felt like I had a very strong technical education. It was only when I started working that I realized I was kind of missing psychology or people aspect of life. And so I was kind of given this random opportunity to work in HR on a temporary project. And through that experience, I realized what a wonderful challenge to take engineering and try to approach HR from an engineering perspective, and vice versa, try to take engineering and approach it from an HR perspective. So I think just rolling that snowball down the hill and letting it get bigger and bigger is what's led me to every job in my career, including this one. My job is to find areas where we're doing things that are detrimental to the culture, or I'm doing things that are detrimental to the culture, getting rid of them, and introducing things that are more conducive to the culture you want. Culture is creating the environment that accelerates business strategy. That's what culture is. And so how do you accelerate strategy? You need an environment that focuses everyone on a common goal but allows them to tap into their own unique abilities. One of them has to do with engagement surveys. In engagement surveys where you ask employees a list of questions, you try to see what the patterns are, get some ideas on what you can do to increase engagement. Typically, engagement results will have people expressing their views on, are the company goals clear? Do I hear from my senior leadership? Do I have the tools to do what I need to get done? Do I like my job? Am I happy with how I'm paid here? Those are the typical kinds of answers. We did an interesting exercise once where we took the same engagement data, but we just focused on the high performers. And we pretended the high performers were their own business unit, even though they weren't. It was a theoretical data manipulation. And with the high performers being their own business unit, we're able to isolate their engagement drivers. High performers' engagement drivers are different than the company average engagement drivers. It was a fascinating realization. So instead of the items I just kind of went over, where do I know what the company goals are, do I understand senior leadership, high performers have a very distinct set of drivers. And I'll go through all 5. Number 1, do I feel like I'll be able to advance my career at this company? Not just this job, but my career. Are there several stepping stones that make me feel like I can unfold my career? Number 2, would I recommend working here to my high-performing friends? Number 3, do I believe that promotions are based on merit as opposed to anything else? Number 4, does my manager remove obstacles? So I know I can perform at a high level. Is this the right environment for me? When there are obstacles, does my manager remove them? And number 5, does the job allow me to keep my skills cutting edge and current? Am I always at the leading edge of what I do? That's what drives high performers. So armed with this information, we started taking a completely different approach on how we wanted to create the right environment and motivate people. We focused on career development. We focused on, in your role, here are the items within your role that'll push your skills. Or we developed projects, and some of the specific purpose of having you on the project, it was as an opportunity for you to really hone a specific skill. So instead of trying to focus on make sure our leaders communicate more, let's publish the goals, we took a very different approach and tried to stimulate these 5 drivers.